So how to locate our literature sources? So there are steps to, of course, to locate our literature sources. First of all, or the first step, start with the most recent research works you can find on your topic. It means that you are not going to go to the past. Start with the most recent scholarship. Do an exploratory outline research on your topic at home or in the library. An exploratory outline, of course, providing an outline that can guide you in searching for these research works. Record carefully and systematically throughout the process every source you can find to enable you to retrieve it or to retrieve the information more easily later on. It means that here we return to note taken. Note taken, it means that taking the source, taking the year of publication, the author's names or name, the title of the book, of the magazine, of the dissertation, house and place of publication. In case of journals, volume and issue numbers, etc., and even the digital object identifier, since it can guide you easily to the paper. Use your research question or questions to find keywords or research term that relate to you or which is related to your, of course, research topic. Use here the library or the sources to locate subjects. And check out the subjects listed for good articles you have located to consider additional research steps. To make it easier to you, of course, create a file. In that file, keep the most important articles, encyclopedias, or conference proceedings, or books, or online journals that can guide you in listing your references. Conduct an internet research using discipline-related database. And as an activity or as a question, I want you to explain what is meant by discipline-related database, as well as a readily available research engine such as Google Scholar. So what is meant by Google Scholar and for what reason we can use Google Scholar? So the most important points that can be summarized in this section, we can say that there are several types of source materials, including books, articles, conference papers, reviews, and what is referred to as, or what we call in academic writing, gray literature. These sources are divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. It means that gray literature contains what? Primary, secondary sources, and tertiary sources. Although digital research engines enable researchers to locate more information and to do so faster and more efficiently, the reliability or validity of the sources have to be established. It means that you have to check these sources, whether they are reliable to your research or not. When searching for more sources on your topic, it is good idea, or it is a good idea to start with the most recent research, as we have said before. You can find, because it will include an updated literature review and references on your topic. Throughout the process of your research, carefully record every source that you find to enable you to retrieve this information more easily later. You've got also to search the fields in the reports, titles, abstracts, keywords, the author's names. Use the most accurate keywords or research terms that relate to your topic. Another way to search a database is to use a subject or descriptor, which is a specific term used by the discipline of library catalog to categorize the source. Another helpful source for locating keywords Is a dictionary containing a list of synonyms? It means that you are going to use the dictionary from the first step. When you think about the topic and you start collecting secondary, primary sources, etc. about the topic, you should use the dictionary to check the related words. You can search on Google Scholar. You find articles, books in Amazon, in Wikipedia, as well as other more general online sources, such as those maintained by professional organizations and governments, which are widely available. And as I said before, and I will repeat it again, Wikipedia is excluded from academic, from research and writing academic papers. And what is important, and I'm always insisting on my student to start with it, is creating a file for your bibliography. It means that when you start writing or take notes concerning the first scholar, create in your computer, in your word processing, a bibliography or the list of references depending on the citation style that you are going to use, works cited or references. So this will help you to list all the authors, and you are not going to miss any author by the end. And here, as a piece of advice, don't let it by the end, because here you are going to miss many authors. So this is concerning sources of the literature review. Now we move on to steps for writing the literature review. So as you can see in this slide, we've got bibliography, we've got thematic organization, extra readings, limiting the sources, note taken, writing short sections, and linking these sections. So this can be here can be classified in three categories. Starting with the first one, locating the literature review sources. So as I said, here after selecting a topic, you will locate sources that will provide knowledge and information about the topic. By identifying appropriate terms and keywords, as I explained, developing research strategies, and searching records. You can search appropriate databases in your field of study. You may also benefit from tracing references in reviews, research papers, books, or by asking colleagues or subject matter experts some recommendations. And of course, here you are going to ask your supervisor to give you some guidelines on how to create your bookshelf or your library, through which you can find the exact sources for your literature review. This step also requires careful recording, organization of the identified sources, and starting to create your own bibliography. And this is what we call the bibliography section. Analyzing and evaluating. And here, before moving to the next step, here we return to the term that we have seen in the first session, what is called annotated bibliography. It means that you are going to collect the different sources based on brief critical reading. It means that you are going to read, but critically, of each source, having an annotation of each source of the literature. Annotations may also include other important references. Now we move on to the second step, thematic organization. So the collected scholarship is organized according to themes. So you are going, after reading and reading and reading, limiting your sources, whether they are primary or secondary or tertiary sources. You are going to collect and organize these sources according to themes, sub-themes, and categories, as we have seen in outlining here our literature review for our topic, the quest for female identity, as we have seen, we have started with the background about, of course, the society, the historical background about society of that time, talking about racism and its impact on Black Americans, Black women and parental system, the rise of Black feminism movement, Black feminism and the quest for female identity, the issue of selfhood and identity construction in literary texts by taking sexual identity theory by a group of scholars as a theory for the analysis, in addition to Black feminist literary criticism. So, as you can see here, we have categorized or organized these according to themes, then sub-themes, then categories. These themes are organized in chronological manner. It means that you start from the important sorry, to the less important, or according to a chronological order of events in case of the field of civilization. Researchers try to organize these themes to realize coherence and discuss these themes to write the literature. Of course, you are going to discuss this literature with or the organization realizing coherence with your supervisor. Of course, your supervisor will guide you in every step. So look at and here we when we say thematic organization, we say locating literature review sources. So after selecting a topic, you will locate sources that will provide what? Knowledge and information about your topic. By identifying appropriate terms and key terms or keywords, developing search strategies and searching records. You can search appropriate databases, as we have said. Of course, in your field of study, you may also benefit from tracing references. After that, we move on to analyzing and evaluating literature review sources. So in thematic organization, you are going to evaluate, you are going to analyze for what reason, and also to organize these into themes, sub-themes, and categories. So once you locate sources through your researchers, you will start by reading each source to determine its value for your research and whether it should be included or not in your review. Then, of course, I'm not going to include here everything. This happened to me when I was a doctoral student. My topic was a little bit here a bridge between sociolinguistics and literature. So at that time I felt lost about what I should include, because my topic here took into account literature theories, at the same time integrating sociolinguistic literary theories to analyze or to approach the literary text. So for it was okay for the field of sociolinguistics, because I'm specialized in the field of sociolinguistics. But when it comes to the field of literature, here I included all the literary theories to approach the true literary text, because I conducted a contrastive study between two novels, Lady Chatterley's Lover and La Nuit Sacrée by Tahar Benjeloun. So it was difficult for me to which theory I should include from or take from the literary theories. So I took all the theories, and after I went to my supervisor, she said that you are going to work only with feminist literary criticism and psychoanalysis, and you are obliged to delete all the theories. So imagine you working with the 30 pages. These 30 pages as extra pages will be deleted from your first chapter. So she deleted, for example, social theory, historical theory, cultural theory, literary criticism. She kept just psychoanalysis and feminist literary criticism. So for this reason, through your readings, try to limit to the most important. Of course, here you are going to document what? To document the themes, the issues discussed in the literature review that are relevant to your research question, interpret and summarize their contents. You will end by assessing the quality of the research presented in the study according to criteria for excellence that are indigenous to different research approaches. This evaluation process will allow the student to become a critical reader, because we are focusing on reading, reading, both reading and writing critically. It means that you are at this stage a critical reader and assess the credibility of the resource sources and the extent to which the information offered is trustworthy, valid, and logic. So this is concerning thematic organization. Now we move on to here extra readings. It means so collecting, limiting. This does not mean that it's okay. I'm going to work with these books and these sources. There is no need to read. You should read. Of course, you should make extra readings. So, making extra readings, you are going to limit your literature. You are going to add what's important scholars and theories, and integrate additional literature to your draft, as the case, for example, of the quest for female identity in Sula. So, of course, at the first step, when we decided to work on the topic, as you know, we said that we should work with feminist reading. Then, through my readings, I found that it is not enough to work just with feminist reading to analyze the novel. We should work with psychoanalysis, literature criticism, and I also found that it is not enough. We have also to work with social identity literature theory, and this can't come without extra reading. So the extra readings help me what? Help me to here to add important points. Means that psychoanalysis, literary criticism to analyze this literary text, Sula, and social identity theory to analyze what is called selfhood and identity formation for the protagonist. Now we move on to writing short sections, and this is the most difficult step. Why? The most difficult step because you are not going just to summarize and to describe. You are going to summarize, you are going to organize, and you are going to synthesize the literature, and through synthesizing you are going to build the arguments. So in this phase, you will assemble the analysis of the individual sources in well-structured, persuasive narrative. What? Narrative. Literature review. We start with the description of strategies that will enable you to structure the literature review around themes and patterns and recognize how they relate and build upon each other. We then discuss how to construct the logical arguments that presents our point of view in a persuasive way. Then, what I should use, I should what? So when I construct a logical argument in a persuasive way, I should what? Synthesize. So here, as you can see, there are techniques. Synthesizing literature and bringing it together into a coherent whole. Okay? So this is the most difficult. So by now I have summarized, analyzed, and assessed individual studies, articles, and books, as well as identified some of the core terms, central concepts, and methodologies that are relevant to my work. Now what I should do, I'm ready to assemble the individual pieces of information and weave them together into what a holistic narrative. Holistic narrative means that I'm going to link all these sections that I have written or take notes on into what a holistic narrative. A major goal of literature review writers is to demonstrate comprehensive understanding and insight into the current state of knowledge on their chosen topics or themes. This goal can't be achieved through a series of summaries of individual sources that are patched together one by one. Rather, the aim is to develop a holistic narrative that is analyzed, synthesized, and organized thoughtfully and logically. The theories, research methodologies, and in research methodologies we have explained what is meant by research methodologies, and findings extracted from the literature review should be woven together to reveal patterns, discover relationships. So here you are going to make a link between the theories and your topic to what? To discover the relationships, to show the reader the connection between your topic and the existing knowledge or the existing background of that knowledge, and build a logical chain of claims supported by data. At the same time, your review should also provoke new thinking and understanding through fresh and creative connections that you have captured within and among the different concepts, theories, and research. We move on to the last step, or what is called the integrating sections. So after writing titles, the researcher should link these headings and subheadings and prepare what? The literature review. So the literature review should start with an introduction, body, and ends with the conclusion. Among the important points to consider, we should realize topical order, chronological order, problem cause solution order, general to specific order, comparison and contrast order, and specific to general order. What is meant by these? So as a second homework, I need you to explain these points. Realizing order. Which type of order? Firstly, we've got topical order, we've got chronological order, we've got problem cause solution order, general to specific order, comparison contrast order, specific to general order. All these should appear in your literature review. Process of the literature review. So before moving to that, let me add a point concerning developing a writer voice and following writing conventions. So after connecting, synthesizing, writing themes, linking these themes and creating headings and subheadings, at this point you will probably be aware of your voice as a writer, and you will discuss ways of developing an active and authoritative writer voice. It means here your voice as a writer should appear in your literature review as you carry on a dialogue with the authors discussed in your review. It means that as if you are writing the literature review as if you are writing what you are making a dialogue with those scholars. We also offer strategies that will allow you to overcome writing blocks. So ethics require you to properly reference, and this is what I'm insisting on, referencing. Of course, when you are writing, you are going to take author's ideas, you are going to take quotes, you are going to paraphrase, you are going to summarize, note-taking, you are taking notes, note-taking, you are going to include these. So what? Provide reference, acknowledge the sources, and avoid intentional and intentional plagiarism. Avoid plagiarism and different types of plagiarism, as we have seen in the day of plagiarism, and different types of plagiarism and how to avoid them. Additionally, you should pay attention to your writing style and language use, as well as appropriate citation and referencing style. As we have said, and as we have seen, referencing style, you should use one style. Either you are going to use Chicago, or you are going to use Malay or APA, use one citation style and credit sources, create your list of references, and put your in-text citation. Now we move on to types of literature. And here there is a disagreement. Some said that there are just three types of literature, and some said that it is more than three types. But as you can see here, we've got the evaluative review, the exploratory, and the instrumental. But before that, let us start with here another type of literature review, which is called the theoretical literature review and the systematic literature review. As you can see here, it is called the systematic literature review or the empirical literature review. Both terms are used to mean the same. Okay, and we've got what is called the narrative literature review. So this is or the traditional literature review. So the systematic literature review has been developed, in fact, in fields like medicine, biology, healthcare disciplines for the purpose of conducting biomedical research. Since then, it has spread to other disciplines. It means that it was not limited just to medicine and biology, biological fields, but even it has spread to other disciplines that emphasize evidence-based decision making, like for example, policy and education. We've got also what is called the traditional narrative literature review. This type of literature remains the most common method among students and scholars. In social sciences and education, when we say social sciences, we can include languages. Traditional narrative review draws from a variety of academic disciplines and includes diverse research methods, qualitative, quantitative, and theoretical studies. This type of review surveys the state of knowledge in a specific subject area, and what offers a comprehensive background for understanding that particular topic. So it critically summarizes theories, examines studies, and investigates methods used in existing research. So the researcher in this type of literature gathers a broad spectrum of the literature written about the topic and synthesizes it into coherent interpretation that what highlights the main issues, trends, complexities, and controversies that are at the center of it, according to Jensen et al. 2011. So the traditional narrative review typically starts with a statement of the problem or declares the question around which the discussion evolves. This question is often broad and may evolve or reformulate more precisely during the review process. At that time, the researcher may not end the